GYPSEY, and why is it downwards treasured sites in Christianity?
There's a new evidence proof we're not alone in the universe. UFO, form of bright light descending over the dome of the rock of Jerusalem.
All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I'm Rich Giordano, and it is Wednesday, right? Isn't it Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? It is January 5th, 2022. We're here. Just had a little bit of sleep issues, huh? I'm joking. It was all technical issues. Wasn't my fault. Can you see? I mean, my eyes are they're still red from sleeping. I set the alarm. I went to take a nap and never heard the alarm. I don't know how. I checked it. It's set. I have an alarm set for Wednesday, Thursday at 8:30. And I'm looking right at it. Anyway, we're here. Yeah, here it is. And it's on. I don't know why I didn't hear it. I have the thing full blast. Anyway, B. Baker and ThirdPhaseOfMoon called me, woke me up. I said, oh no! I was afraid that was going to happen, but if I didn't nap, it would have been over. Anyway, got a good show for you tonight. That's all that matters. Hope you guys are in a good mood. Because last night, Truthseekers had a show around the midnight 30 talking about third phase of moon. Not really me, but third phase of moon. And it was pretty interesting, to say the least. We were on the phone, and next thing we know, they say, oh my God, Truthseekers is on right now. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know he was doing his show now. So we started listening, and he was going off on the S4 thing. And, how the pin and Bob Lazar and all this other stuff, they're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. The guy who found it, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Which, by the way, the guy who found it is UFOProof, Kyle. And he's going to be joining us here in a little bit. How about that? I got to check something real quick because I fell asleep. Because I said I opened an invitation to Truthseekers as well, if he wanted to come on. But I don't think he saw the message yet. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure he did. But if he joins in, that would be interesting too. But Kyle's here in a minute. Not right now. Probably in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. And we're going to get his point of view on everything. We're going to hear it from him instead of hearing it secondhand, third hand, my GUFON hand. You know what I mean? We're going to get down to it tonight. And I want to show you a couple of things here from last night. And let's see here. Let me pull it. I closed it all down. That's right, because I fell asleep, didn't wake up yet. So give me a second here. And I am going to pull it up. Where are you guys? All right, so what's his name? Truthseekers? There it is. I'm sure he doesn't have a problem with me playing some of this. So we're gonna. Oh, this is unbelievable. I just had a flashback. It was like going back to Nama. All right, let's hear what Stephen Cambian has to say because it's. Oh, I did it again. What am I doing? Why is this happening? Why is this happening to me? Where did he go? Where's Truth? Oh, here it is. I got confused. I'm still a little sleepy. What's that? Oh, roll call. Oh, yeah. We'll do roll call real quick. Sorry, everybody. All right, real quick, though. This is it. Quick 30-second. Denbub. What's up? Welcome to the show. World in Chaos 76. Welcome to the show. Renee Cruisin. Welcome to the show. Michael Larry. Welcome to the show. Zach Diecast Montu. Welcome to the show. Andy Gambino. Welcome to the show. IR Film. Welcome to the show. Matna. Welcome to the show. Felicia the Beautiful Flores. Welcome to the show. Kelly Lewis. Welcome to the show. Complaisir is here. Welcome to the show. The Urban Way. The show has you. Congratulations. Welcome to the show. Good to get Kyle on. Hope Steven joined. Yeah, me too. Escobar. Welcome to the show. First Floor Audio. What's up, Lee? Welcome to the show. Earthly Awakenings 82, a.k.a. Emmanuel. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Moonlight. Welcome to the show. What's that? I was saying hi to everybody. Colin Allen. Welcome to the show. See, Ty got Third Phase of GUFON again. Quaker Rock Fam. Welcome to the show. Gigi Abby Lynn. Welcome to the show. 5 seconds. Off-World Adam, welcome to the show. Unidentified S4, welcome to the show. Denbub, I said it already. Where is everybody else? All right. On the Rise, welcome to the show. Into Thin Air is here. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Let's get going. Caleb, glad you could squeak in here. Everybody else, welcome to the show because I overslept. I can't do a 50-minute intro to welcome everybody. Right, Mr. Bridges? Welcome to the show. I got you. Thanks, guys, for coming here tonight. I need my drink. There's B. Baker, Coral Ann, moderators, Nathan. That one time I was abducted by aliens is here. What's up? All right. Unidentified S4. There we go. All right. All right. Somebody slow the chat down. My God, you guys. Hey, Bob M. What's up, man? All right. Now I'm going to play this from Cambian. I mean, I started hearing. Let me see. Here we go. Let's just. It doesn't matter where I go. It's already playing.
People, con artist kind of guys, wake up one day and decide that they're going to start a whorehouse. Reputable scientists with PhDs or master's degrees in physics and electronics technology don't wake up one day and just say, I'm going to start a whorehouse. And in fact, Bob Lazar is now a convicted pimp. He was convicted for pandering, for running a whorehouse. I get a lot of flack for calling Bob a convicted pimp. But if you run a whorehouse, to me, you're a pimp. This situation is problematic for Bob Lazar and his supporters because no one can explain to me why a senior staff level, high-ranking senior staff level physicist with master's degrees would suddenly decide he was going to run a whorehouse one day. And by the way, you go talk to some of the women that work there. You go talk to the madam who was his partner in that business. And if you're willing to sit down first, it's not good for the scientific image to hang out with a bunch of whores. Or, worse yet, to run a whorehouse. I mean, could you imagine, being a person that hands out funding and you have a few people to choose from? Well, this scientist is doing very good work on electrothermodynamics, and this other scientist is doing really amazing work on string theory. But there's a problem. One of these two is running a whorehouse on the side. So who's going to get the funding? Not the Bob Lazar is the one making. Did some work today to try to determine the actual distance of where Bob Lazar said S4 was to where this new S4 is. And it appears to me that it's 15 or 20 miles from where Bob Lazar said it was. How could he be 15 or 20 miles off? For years, he said it was off Papoose Dry Lake bed, and it was built into the side of a mountain. There was these hangar bays. So first I'm going to show you some of that. Just bear with me as I share my screen here, friends. Yeah. So, and here's another thing. This is an illustration of the S4 facility and the hangar bay doors built into the side of the mountain, as Bob Lazar described them, where Bob Lazar described it was, right? And if we look on Google Maps, there's nothing like that where he said it was. Zero. There's nothing but rocks and sand there. And that's a big problem. And here again, we have a drawing. This one, I believe, may be from actual Bob Lazar, or Bob Lazar commissioned this one. And again, it's right in the side of a mountain, and here's the Papoose dry lake bed. So to test the flying saucers, they would open the doors and they would hover out, I suppose, onto the dry lake bed and perform their tests. This new facility that someone claims to have found that is S4. And what's their evidence that it's S4? Well, it was labeled on a Google pin as Area S4 High Ridge Facility.
That's the most we ever had.
It is a high ridge facility. It's up on a high ridge of a mountain. But there's so many problems with that location,
Kyle,
as opposed to where Bob said it was, and we'll get to that. So this is the purported S4. I have seen presentations from George Knapp. It's shown, this area is shown as where S4 was in the so-called Bob Lazar Area 51 Flying Saucers documentary.
What's that?
I think you're getting it.
Oh, yeah, bear with me. All right, Kyle's here. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to bring it back up. What's up, man? Welcome to GUFON.
What's going on, brother? Thanks for having me on.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
What a new year it is.
Dude, I got to say something real quick before we move on really quick.
Yeah.
That drawing that Steven just had up.
Yeah, I'll pull it back up. Yep.
Yeah. Look at the bottom where the hangars are. There is a grid pattern right in front of the hangars. Go back and look at that video. Go back and look at that picture.
Hold on. Pulling it
Show
up. That?
No, that's the fake one. That's not from Bob Lazar.
This one?
The one that's it right there. What's right in front of the hangar doors?
The Papoose Lake?
No, look in front of the hangar doors on the ground.
You mean this stuff?
Yeah, look, there's a grid pattern. That concrete pad has the grid pattern on it.
Oh, that's interesting.
If you look closely at the pads that I found, there is a grid pattern there. It's for precision landing. Look, even in this artist illustration, he had them design it to make it look like it was. There's the grid pattern from the concrete pads directly in front of it, just like we said, just like on the pads, man.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to all of it. I do want to continue playing this, but to let everybody know, this is the guy who discovered the S4 site, or the pin, whatever you want to call it. Before 2005, it was blurred out, that area, which is interesting, right? So, but after that, apparently, maybe the NDA was lifted. Who knows? Whatever happened. Apparently, that whole area may have been destroyed, as some people are saying, and they covered it up with these squares. I mean, nobody knows. But you found the pins that said S4, a government pin, by the way.
Government pins, yeah.
Let's get that straight. Nobody can just put a pin in that's living in the area, that can just say, I'm going to put a pin down. Like Wikipedia, you can go in and switch things, make it whatever, but not here, not on government. Not on government land, right?
Yeah, even if a business wants to go start a new business and have a tag put in for that, it will not come up as a government tag. It will come up as a civilian tag, as a social tag,
right?
Or whatever, as the normal ones you see for businesses. You won't see that little government building on there. It has to be a federal agency in order to get that tag.
So we have you on tonight because Cambian went off last night. I do want to play some of the things he said, and then we'll come back and go, we'll just do the old back and forth with this. You ready?
Rock and roll.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, this is great, man.
I'm really excited. All right, let me pull that up here in 3, 2, go.
facility and the hangar bay
Idiot.
doors built
I'm so
into the
stupid.
side of the mountain, as Bob Lazar described them, where Bob Lazar described it was, right? And if we look
we
on
already heard
Google
this.
Maps, there's nothing like that where he said it was. Zero. There's nothing but rocks and sand
We'll
there.
just leave it.
And that's a big problem. And here again, we have a drawing. This one, I believe, may be from actual Bob Lazar, or Bob Lazar commissioned this one. And again, it's right in the side of the mountain. And here's the Papoose dry lake bed. So to test the flying saucers, they would open the doors and they would hover out, I suppose, onto the dry lake bed and perform their tests. This new facility that someone claims to have found that is S4, and what's their evidence that it's S4? Well, it was labeled on a Google pin as Area S4 High Ridge Facility. And I'll give them this, it is a high ridge facility. It's up on a high ridge of a mountain. But there's so many problems with that location as opposed to where Bob said it was, and we'll get to that.
And we're going to get into so much, but I mean, Third Phase of Moon said last night, who cares what Bob Lazar said? Now all of a sudden Bob Lazar is 100% credible? So that was kind of funny. All right, here we go.
This is the purported S4. I have seen presentations from George.
Like maybe he had to lie and not give the exact location back then, because of you didn't want to go to jail.
Well, also he's on a bus with
this area
windows. He's on a bus with blacked out windows. It's not like he can see the exact location. He just knows that it's somewhere south of Area 51, near the Papoose Lake, the dry lake bed. Not by the Groom Lake bed, which is where Area 51 is, but by the Papoose Lake bed. And this base is by the Papoose Lake bed. It's about 4 miles away from it, hidden in the mountains, in the side of a mountain. It's even got that landing, that precision testing pad there.
All right, let's, man, this is going to get good.
Is shown as where S4 was in the so-called Bob Lazar Area 51 and Flying Saucers documentary, which was really a joke fluff piece. It wasn't a documentary because the documentary filmmaker conveniently left out all the evidence that Bob Lazar is a fraud. Didn't tell you he was a convicted pimp, did he? Didn't talk about how he lied about his education, right? Didn't talk about how he married a second woman while still married to his first wife, and then his wife killed herself.
I don't see how any of that's
Bob Lazar is. Should we really
He's just bringing up
that would marry
I
a
don't
second
know.
woman behind his wife's back
He just
as being trustworthy or
who cares if
worthy
he's
of
a
our
pimp?
belief?
all right.
And here we have Papoose dry lake bed and where the hangar is supposed to be.
No, it's
And we're going
not.
to see tonight that this location.
Okay, why not?
Because that's not how Bob Lazar described it. People think it's that simply because it's right directly near the Papoose Lake bed, but it's not even a mountain. It's just a hill. He's talking about, like, if you look at that first drawing, there is and there's actually a color photo of that drawing, where you can see the mountains in back are all white, like the ones that are in the video that I posted. Not the one before that.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, I accidentally clicked it. Yeah.
But the bigger mountains in back are all white in the color photo, and you can see them in the background. And when you look at the video I posted, you could see them white mountains in the background. Yeah, back there, it shows them as white, just like it does in the video I posted.
Let me. I'll pull up yours too. And what else?
Yeah, and just look, if you guys look closely, there's that grid pattern directly in front of the hangar doors, and I think I pointed out in my latest video where the hangar doors were, and right next to. I was saying in my latest video that the hangar doors are right in front of this pad, like you could actually see them. And when I went and looked, I mean, like you could actually see like there's some doors there. It looks like hangar doors there, directly in front of those pads. And that's what I said. And that drawing right here even has that grid line pattern on it. I mean, you got to pull up my video so we can see.
I am, yeah.
That's
where
nuts.
Where in your video is it? Like in the middle?
I think it's basically the whole video. Like the very beginning.
Let me get rid of this. Yeah, StreamYard's weird. I have to stop this to bring yours up. You just can't swap them out. As because there'll be an echo.
Yeah.
If I don't do it this way, so let me bring yours up now.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll get you there. Let me pull that up here. There your video goes. Whoops. Man, this is unbelievable that we're still talking. But they removed the tags now. The pins have been removed. It's amazing. Two days later?
Yeah, for real. And I had been looking at this. You got to understand, I had been looking at this and researching it and everything for maybe 4 or 5 days before I posted it, you know?
What made you look on the other side? What was your thought process from going from Papoose Lake, you know, where Bob said it, you know, and everybody else thinks it is?
Well, because if you actually listen to what Bob Lazar says in one of his interviews, he says it's off of the Papoose Lake bed. So it's near it, but he's not saying it's on the Papoose Lake bed. He says it's near it. And I seen that drawing, the color drawing of it, and I could see that there were white mountains in the back. And that was when he, you know, detailed it out to a person who was drawing it, some lady. And he detailed it out what it looked like and in the background and everything. And so I was like, well, there should be some white mountains around there where the base is. And I could see up there were some white mountains over top. And so I looked for a road that was coming from Area 51, which I followed and ran up through the mountains right into the base.
Am I on the right video? This is the original video.
Yeah, this is the original video, I believe. Yeah, right here. This is it.
This is the one. Where do I go to find that picture, though? I can't find it in here.
I don't have the picture in here, the color picture, but I do have the pads show the grid line. If you go to a part where it shows them straight from it.
Yeah,
like
I'll pull that up.
Yeah.
Looking straight down, I think it shows those lines in it.
Correct.
There's Papoose. Oh, yeah. I got to go a little bit
further.
Yeah. Here we go. We're getting there.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. I can even. It's
I can see them.
I can see the grid lines.
Yeah,
right?
There they are, right here. Right there's one.
Now look right to the right, where your mouse is, right there.
Yeah.
Those are the hangar doors, and this is the grid pattern that's directly in front of of that drawing.
Wow, that is it.
That's it.
Well, now I have to play this game now with you, you know, where we have to speculate, because isn't that what we're doing?
Of course.
We don't know that that's the doors, but that's interesting. It's right up along the mountain area. All right. Yeah, and then, but there were supposedly 9 doors, or how many doors? And we don't see more than that, but apparently the site's been destroyed, according to some people. I'm not sure, but yeah, so this could be one of the doors. Here's another one, possibly.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting to me. Oh, here's another version. There's one door there. Oh, 2, 3, 4, maybe? Oh, look at this. 2, 3. All right.
I have a video where I actually kind of draw out where they should all be, and it does actually number 9 of them.
Oh, is that your newest video?
Yeah, I think it's the newest video. But look, you can see the white mountains in the background. I mean, everything lined up perfectly to what he was saying. I mean, even that drawing shows the grid pattern in front. There's no doubt that Bob's going to say, this is it.
You got all good angles in this video. Yeah, there's the white mountains, these?
Yep, correct.
Huh. All right. This is really interesting. Wow. Yeah, there they are back here. You can see it.
Yeah.
So this goes right up to the mountain. But another problem would be they rolled him out onto Papoose Lake. So where's Bob said they rolled the UFO right onto right onto the lake.
He didn't actually say that they put it onto Papoose Lake. He said they took it right out in front of the hangar doors when they first tested it.
Oh, okay. I thought he said they rolled him right out. Maybe I'm just going by what other people said he said.
Yeah, that's not what he said. That's just what other people have said, you know. But he never said that they put it out on Papoose Lake, like on the dry lake bed. I mean, that's not where they would test it, you know. Look at that goofy pool.
I've got one of me too, yeah. So this is, there's Homey Airport. Yeah, I saw that thing. Is that have any significance to the story?
I don't think so. I know, well, a little bit of significance being that he always claimed from the very beginning that people at Area 51 do not have the clearance to even go towards S4. That it's completely restricted, even to personnel at Area 51. That he's like, they would have no idea. And it's also, he's like, it's about 20-30 minutes away from Area 51. It's not like it's right next to it. It's a drive to get there. Obviously, you could see from just the video where it's at, you know. So I mean, it makes perfect sense. And to hide it, you know, where it is in that position, you're surrounded by mountains like all around. No one could see you anywhere, you know. And I mean, so just having a precision landing pad, you know, just for everything, it makes sense. Even people at Area 51 wouldn't be able to see it.
So let's do a little further jumping here. I want to thank people for the super chats. I'll get to them. You know, whenever I can, I'll post them up, and I'll give a thumbs up. And it's a different night tonight. We're trying to go through this, and I saw Moonlick. Thank you very much for your contribution to continuing supporter, and also Lord Ludicrous Plaid has something here for $5. He says, Bob has said multiple times in multiple interviews that the sports model, wow, look at me, I just happened to pull that up, was wheeled onto the lake bed. That's what I thought too. I could have sworn. S4 is a radar shack, quote unquote, according to TD Barnes. What do you know about that?
No, it's not a radar shack. I know what the radar shack. I know what radar looks like when they're testing it. You know, you have a big field, you have giant antennas and stuff, and radar dishes to begin with. That's like the main thing to have, which this area clearly does not have a radar dish. So I mean, simple as that. That, you know, proves that. And from what video, I've never seen a video where he says they wheeled it out onto the dry lake bed. You know, when he in his book, I have his book.
Yeah, I know you've. Go ahead. Yeah, you studied him for like since day, like what, the last 10 years, basically, 20 years, 15 years? Yeah,
exactly. In his book, he says like, when he came out to see the testing of the craft was already outside of the hangar doors. It was already there, and there was a pilot already inside of it. Other than that, there's never wheeled out. He had no idea if it was wheeled out or not because he wasn't there for it. In fact, it was Dennis Mariana who came in and said, all right, you guys come with me and pay attention because this might be the only time you get to see this, you know? So they brought him out to see it perform some maneuvers where it just, you know, rose up slightly off the ground, maybe 30 or 40 feet. It kind of moved left, moved right, and then sat back down and to do precision landing. And that's what those grid patterns are for VTOL takeoff vehicles, you know, vertical takeoff and lift vehicles. And they have those squares there to indicate we want you to land in this square. So that's for precision landing. And that's exactly what they have out there for craft that obviously these craft are vertical takeoff. So it would make sense for them to have that kind of pad out there. It makes perfect sense. But he always said that he just came out there and it was already out on the testing pad, getting ready to do its maneuvers.
Two things, and then I'll play the video here. Ghost Rider is saying those white rectangles are roofs. It's flat because there's no building geometry there. I'm not so sure. But you can go all over Google and see things, on Area 51 anyway. Things are flattened that they don't want you to see.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on here, but the grid pattern's interesting. I don't think it's water guzzlers. That's 100-foot across right there, and for each one, we'll get into that though. And then the unidentified S4 actually is watching a video where he says they rolled him out on the lake bed at Papoose Lake. I could have sworn he said it too, Kyle.
Yeah,
what
video?
Nonetheless.
What video is he watching?
Yeah, if you could let us know.
Yeah.
Unidentified S4. Please tell us what it is, and maybe I'll pull it up. All right, let's get back to this, because Cambian did he's got his views on this, but it's interesting.
The photos were all frauds. They used miniature trees, miniature
I think he's talking about
miniature models
Billy
of
Myers.
saucers that weren't real, hung by strings.
Billy Myers.
I mean, look at the similarity between Bob Lazar's sport model and Billy Myers' beam ship. It's the same thing.
Right.
Thing that
We know
Used to
all
be.
that.
That's what it's supposed to look like, according to Bob Lazar. It doesn't look anything like that. Now, he did say that the hangar bay doors were camouflaged, so you couldn't see them. But, you know, if you could see a tiny guard shack in the aerial photos, in the Google Earth photos of Area 51, I would think that you'd be able to see some hangar bay doors. But you can't. So there's a big...
What about that?
That's debatable. You actually can. Like if we're looking at directly at the grid pattern in front of them, you could see, like where you just pointed out, where the hangar doors are directly in front of that grid pattern. They're just sand textured, so they look like the side of the hill, you know, side of the mountain.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're speculating, but I mean,
But I mean, like you can see where it's a speculation on where they would be, but it looks, you know, very interesting that it looks like hangar doors right there that could be sand textured to hide them from satellite, you know.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it did say S4, man.
And government or research facility and High Ridge research facility.
Now, a lot of people are here because they saw that title on my show where it said, Third Phase put a challenge out, $10,000 if anybody can name that facility or anything on a government or anything here and name it Third Phase of Moon Base.
Yeah.
And so far, nada.
No one's going to be able to collect that money. They know it.
Well, you never know if somebody who maybe they work there, but they need verification if they're going to pay somebody 10
It's
grand.
got to be a government agency to have that government tag.
That's right. That's what we found out. All right, here we go. Let's see what he says.
Other people might be able to make up a tag, but it won't be a government tag.
Right. Yeah. That's correct. You have to have certain access for that, I think, right?
Correct.
That's the thing. All right, here we go.
That S4 is on Jeremy's website, boblazardebunked.com.
This gets good.
And I'm going to show you some of that.
This is cool.
And again, this is Jerry Freeman, who walked through the entire area of Papoose Lake. This is that right behind him is the area of Papoose Lake in this picture. It's supposed to be an alien base, according, a base studying alien spacecraft right behind Jerry Freeman in this photo.
Yeah, miles away.
The other issue is that entire...
What's that?
So let me point something out.
Yeah, sure.
So a lot of people don't realize this. Papoose Lake is about 15, 20 miles long, okay? So it's about 15 or 20 miles long. I mean, it's huge. Mm-hmm. And half of it is restricted. The other half is not restricted. So he's more than able to walk through half of Papoose Lake because it's not restricted. You're talking a 15-mile difference. You wouldn't even be able to see where it's at. Of course you could walk across it, because half the restricted line runs halfway through Papoose Lake. And the whole lake is like 15 or 20 miles long. So to think you don't see a base. Yeah, well, I mean, if it's, you're 20 miles away from it, then sure, you're not going to see it. It's 20 miles away.
Yeah, right. All right. Here's some people just making comments. Welcome to the show. It says 100-foot water guzzlers are readily available. They can also be used to gather water for construction purposes, not just to feed sheep. Interesting. Yep. Oh, of course. And Zach Diecast Mansour, government agency like BLM, they built these and named it to be cute. They know that Bob Lazar's story and thought it'd be funny to name it that. That's a possibility. Hey, man. Nonetheless, the point is, it was named S4 facility. For what reason, we don't know, but...
Yeah, and also, it's not the BLM who controls that land. It's the Department of Energy. It's the DOE that controls that land, not the BLM.
Oh.
And this is something people don't seem to understand. That land is controlled and governed by the DOE, not the BLM. Okay? I don't care about Black Lives Matters. Okay?
I don't think.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, that's funny, man. No, funny's good on this show.
Sorry.
No, don't be. I thought it. GUFON, we don't see a grid in the satellite photo, and the drawing is just that, a drawing, no proof of a grid. Yeah, I did show you the grid. I don't know how you didn't see it.
Yeah,
it was faint. It was very faint, but it's there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a grid there.
Well, I'll go back to that, B. Baker. No problem.
Yeah.
Not right now, but we'll see it again, I'm sure. All right, let's fast forward a little bit. We know all about this. All right, here we go.
Information, and you know, things and profiting from it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to be polite and kind to you. It's part of my New Year's resolution. So maybe I should have said you're lazy as shit. I apologize. What I'm going to say is...
Yeah, he was picking on Third Phase, saying they don't do any research and, they just put videos up for clicks and all that stuff. All right, so we'll go a little bit past that.
And there's no verifiable proof or evidence that, this is one of those things that bother me, All
right.
No proof that's S4 except for a text description on a Google map page. And to be clear, there are hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of mislabeled locations on Google Maps. Google it and you will find out how many, false locations are there. There's thousands of falsely
government agencies,
falsely pinned locations on Google Maps that aren't what the pin says it is.
We are at Area 51.
So what do you... Oh, they're continuing this. Here you go.
This is the Area 51 base.
Yeah, I just want to let people know, too. We're not attacking anybody. This isn't a hit piece or that we're doing against Truthseekers, Steve Cambian, just to let you know. He just had a 3-hour show last night where myself and... It was really about Third Phase of Moon and this and Kyle. He went off and, was trying to say everybody's wrong. Pretty much. That's what we do. We're talking. That's it.
Yeah.
This is off the Groom Lake bed. There you can see the base right there. And if you follow it around, that is the Papoose mountain range right there. And there is the Papoose lake bed. You can see it labeled the Papoose lake. That's the dry lake bed. So everyone was always looking on this side of it.
Oh, this is
right over here. This is where everyone looks. One guy made a video showing some lines on the mountain that he believed were the doors, even though it was just him putting some lines on there.
I posted those pictures in my latest video too.
Totally.
Wait, what was that?
I posted the pictures of what I'm talking about in my latest video, where the guy made all the pictures I could find of people saying the S4. They said they found it or whatever. I took made a compilation of all the pictures, and they're all on that side of Papoose Lake. They're all on like the right side of it, and they're all obviously fake. They're just taking lines and putting little lines on there, like using the measuring tool and saying these are the base doors, but there's nothing actually there. It's just a mountain. They're just claiming. Yeah.
And we'll take a look at those photos in a little bit.
Okay, good. You got them already.
Yeah, just to fill up, what more proof we need here. All right, let's continue this here because I like this part, how you found it.
Story as well. Some time ago, somebody came out and said, "Look, there's lines. That's got to be the hangar bay doors." No, it wasn't.
It wasn't the doors or anything. So I was like, that's where everyone always looks for, because that's
where
they assume it's going to be.
Yeah,
but it's actually not. If you look at one of the drawings, it's actually by some rocky mountains. Of some kind of granite or something like that. That's where the hangar doors were built. So I looked on the opposite side towards these rocky mountains that are over here, and right up here I found it. And look at this. Google actually has it labeled S4 Research Facility. S4 High Ridge Research Facility. That is the government research facility. That is the mountain in the backdrop. Just like the artist
so
rendering.
Ridiculous.
This is
what's so
S4
ridiculous
base
about it?
where Bob Lazar.
You'll see.
And it is.
See, this is a problem that I have. This person is making statements of fact. This is the base where Bob Lazar worked on alien spacecraft. Based on what evidence is that the base that Bob Lazar worked on alien spacecraft?
All right, what do you want to say to that?
The evidence of everything Bob Lazar said that led me to that craft of going from Area 51 around near the Papoose Lake bed, hidden in the side of a mountain, is a base called S4, and a Google label, a tag from a government agency that said S4. So when you say, what facts do I have? Those are the facts. Those are the facts right there. There's 100%. It's not like I'm making it. I'm not just pulling it out of thin air.
Right.
I'm not just making it up.
You're going, yeah. Okay. All right.
First of all, it's many miles from where Bob Lazar said the base was for all these years. For 30 years, Bob Lazar's been, pointing everybody in the wrong direction?
He hasn't pointed anybody.
Right. Thank you. I was just going to say the same thing. That's crazy. All right.
miles from where the base really is, these statements of fact are problematic. This is the S4 base.
It's labeled right there by Google.
Well, yeah, it was labeled. Oh my God, I thought you were just saying that now. Okay, here we go. That's so crazy.
Yeah, and again, if you had a top secret alien research facility, would you let Google Maps point out to the world where it is? Or maybe, just maybe, as a goof, somebody labeled that area S4 High Ridge Research Facility. And I reached out to a friend of mine at Google that works there, and he does not work at Google Maps, but he made a call or something and called me back and said, yeah, it's more than possible that somebody could falsely label any location with the add location feature, especially if they have a business. If you have a business, you can claim that this area is related to your business or one of your business locations.
Not with the
No,
government tag.
not a government. Not government.
Correct. He's wrong.
That, and later on, he realized that he may have been wrong when he talks to Third Phase. So he retracted some things later on. Have you seen this whole video yet that he did?
I did. Yeah, I did. See, I couldn't watch the whole thing. It was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But the good parts.
I watched a big chunk of it, and yeah, I did see it. So yeah, that's why I was happy to come on your show today and at least be able to rebuke some of this stuff.
Yeah, and thanks for that again. Yeah, this is amazing. It is amazing. We're talking about S4 being labeled on Google Maps near Papoose Lake, right where Bob Lazar said things happened, where he worked. I mean, is it? We don't know 100%, but it was labeled. And it was labeled also 2 years ago, right? That we know of?
Well, that video actually, the guy put a pin there and asking if it was S4, but I don't think it actually had the label on it.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is different. Yeah.
And I think that the reason now could be because of the Pentagon coming out and admitting UFOs exist. We have a UFO program now that everyone knows about that researches UFOs and stuff like that. They clearly say that it exists. I think they're coming around to the fact that, it's okay to talk about their UFO stuff because it's all going to come out eventually. And so, doing something as simple as just, at least naming the base, probably not a big deal. It's probably going to come out soon anyway that, they have this information. I mean, it's funny because the people who run the UFO program right now are the same people that wrote Bob Lazar's paychecks.
Right. Yeah, I remember you saying that.
That's insane. It's like, of course they would be, it's the Department of Naval Intelligence are the same people who run the UFO program right now. It's the same people that signed his paychecks.
Alien scientist Jeremy told his fans, his listeners, to go there and flag the location that it's wrong. It's not accurate. And Third Phase of Moon did a video that night, which brought in 50,000 people. So it got a lot of activity. It got noticed, and then it was removed, the pin.
Wow.
Why do you think they removed it?
I think that in a restricted area, they're going to be able to tell when people are coming and looking at it from a global satellite. So we know when anytime Russia or anybody is over us taking photos of, we know that stuff. That's stuff that they track. So I could see them being tracked every time someone went and looked over Area 51 or S4. And when you go from S4, obviously not many people were looking at it. Maybe 1 or 2 people a month might have came across it.
Maybe, yeah.
And then the Third Phase of Moon puts out the video, and I don't know how many, would they have 50, 60,000 views? How many of those people probably went on Google Earth and looked at it? You might have had 10, 20,000 people all going and looking at their secret base in a single day. They're probably like, oh crap. We might have messed up here. So maybe we should take it down,
Too late though. The word's out. So yeah, I don't understand it.
Or it could have been because Germany had people go and try to flag it, which I think is absolutely, it's way beyond the bounds of he's taken it way too far. Just because he doesn't believe Bob Lazar, when there's evidence to support what he's saying, for him to go and try to destroy that evidence by telling people to go flag it, not because he's taking the evidence at hand, You know, he doesn't want to take, you know, he doesn't want his theory to match the evidence. You know, he wants the evidence to match his theory, which is Bob's lying. So the only thing we can do is go and try to flag it and get it taken down just to prove that he's telling the truth, that Jeremy's right. That's not good. That's a terrible thing to do in ufology, is to go and make something up or try to destroy evidence when it's right there in your face. You know, he's just trying to deny it and destroy it instead of accepting it and saying, okay, well, the base is there. It did have a government pin. The government labeled it S4. It's in the location where he said by Papoose Lake. I mean, you know, and the thing is that by that being right, it proves Jeremy wrong, who's been going about this for years about how much he hates Bob Lazar, and this will prove him wrong. So of course he's going to go all against it. But I think he should look at it and say, you know what, maybe I should rethink, you know, my views on Bob Lazar, because this is there. It does exist. The you know, government label exists there. So you know, why tell people to go and flag it? You know?
Yeah, that is an interesting point. I didn't think of that. That is a really good point. Ah, man. All right, I'm going to play this again. We got maybe a minute or two of this part left. And then Third Phase comes in and they have their discussion. And, you know, you and I will talk. And I'll show the pictures that you have on your latest video. So here we go.
Cool.
In 3, 2, 1.
So it's very easy that somebody could have, you know, added this and said, hey, this is the S4 research facility, with no accountability or anything like that. Prophetic says Blake was on Jeremy Rye's butt for talking like for a fact that S4 was not there, but he talks like it is a fact that S4 was there. Yeah, this is the problem. You know, and I just have a real problem with, like, come on, if there was a real research facility on Area 51 where they were working on alien spacecraft, would they just let anyone? Victor Colliero, and Victor Colliero is very established.
People, you guys have to understand, not anybody can just put a government label, a pin on any place they want. It's not happening. That's why
it doesn't work like that.
That's why they still have their $10,000 in their hand.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. People don't listen. Listen to the details, guys. I mean, this is, you know, hey, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. It's a discovery that you found. It's interesting. It got a lot of people talking. We're still talking about it. And we don't know. Nobody knows. But why would they even play games with it? To me, that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know. Is it like the off-world vehicle? Remember that? Oh, the off-world vehicle, the post on the New York Times or whatever it was, and then they removed it. It's like they've given us stuff and then they're taking it away. It's like, this is true, but, well, maybe it isn't. You know, I hate this game that they're playing.
You know, I think with Harry Reid saying that, the senator, you know, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
I think he kind of, I think he might have felt like he may have been breaking his NDA, you know, because he has, you know, he gets preview to classified information. And I think by saying that, he might have been, you know, he might have felt that he was breaking his NDA, you know, his non-disclosure agreement. And so he backtracked it just so he, you know, wouldn't be breaking that contract or whatever.
Thanks, Lord Ludicrous Plaid. Saw your question. I'm going to say don't answer it, Kyle. It was a silly joke type of question. Did you see it?
No, I didn't even see it.
What do you think of Ed Fauci, the Foggles?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Ed Fouché or whatever is.
Oh, it's Fouché?
Yeah, Ed Fouché. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was talking about Dr. Fauci for a second. I thought he was. Okay, who's this guy, Ed Fouché?
He's a guy who claimed to work at Area 51, doing something stupid there, and he kind of brought up the whole TR3B kind of you know, he kind of brought that to light. I think he's full of crap, actually. You know, he doesn't really have anything to back up what he's saying. It's all just his, you know, just his word. It's just a story. Other than that, he doesn't actually come and bring you any kind of evidence and saying this or that, whatever. But I think he I think he's full of crap. You know, I honestly, I don't believe him, but
What's foggle? What's a foggles?
I have no idea what the foggles means.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Lord Ludicrous Plaid, for the $2. Continuing supporter of GUFON. All right.
Yeah, you guys make sure you throw those super chats up, dude.
Yeah, that's how GUFON survives. I didn't mention it, but PayPal, Super Chat, join the Patreon, whatever. And go check out, of course, UFOProof. And of course, your link will be in the description after the show, and I'll get all that set up. Guys,
it's better to donate to GUFON via PayPal, so YouTube doesn't take its chunk out of it. I'm just going to just throw that out there right now because that's what they do. They take their nice little chunk or 30% or whatever it is out of it. So if you really want to help GUFON out, go donate to his PayPal. That's the best way to help him out and help out the show. That was
very nice of you to say that. Thank you. It's true. Same with the Cash App. It's 1% instead of 33.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's how huge it is. Yeah, it's a big cut.
A lot of people don't know that, so I was like, got to mention that crap because I'm like, if you really want to help them out, do it that way, because the other way you're getting a huge chunk taken right out of it, dude, right off the top.
It is true, but a lot of people like it, the convenience of being here and all that, and they can get their questions seen. But you're right. All right, let's get this going.
Financial motive in this world of UFO. He said it was right off of Papoose dry lake bed.
All right.
And in fact, Bob Lazar claimed that he witnessed a low altitude hovering test flight of one of these alien spacecraft, the sport model, in fact, right on Papoose lake bed. And we're going to see in a moment why that's a problem, because if somebody's not telling the truth here, either these people are wrong that this is the S4 research facility of Bob Lazar, or Bob Lazar was not telling the truth about the alien test flight of the flying saucer right off
he
of
needs
Papoose
to pick
lake bed.
one.
Because
I think Steve needs to pick one. He either needs to say that Bob's telling the truth or Bob's not telling the truth. So which one is it, Steve? You can't just keep jumping back and forth.
Yeah, he said he's going to, later on in this broadcast, he's going to do a little more research. So I appreciate that. All right, here we go.
How are you getting, well, I guess it can fly there, but we're going to show you something else in a moment that makes this very problematic.
Was thinking that the base was on the mountains that were right next to the dry lake bed, like right outside of it was the dry lake because of some of his descriptions. But that is in fact wrong. It wasn't directly on it. See, that's the problem. That's why everyone thinks it was right on the lake bed. It wasn't. The lake.
All right, it's getting a little redundant. We're hearing the same stuff over and over. But should I play this out anyway? And
no, that's all it is. That's just all it is just that video of me finding the base.
All right. So you may want to, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is where the fireworks go off. And you're going to hear some interesting verbiage here. And I appreciate how Third Phase of Moon, Stephen Cambian, still remained civil throughout all this. And I, of course, couldn't say anything because I'm not going to interrupt this. But let's hear.
Some background into
the hold on a sec.
What's that? Oh, I thought it was you.
Jeremy from Alien Scientist, we just got off the phone with him yesterday, and he's second judging the water guzzler theory. But
yeah, and so am I, actually.
Okay, good. When people say these are water guzzlers and stating that's a fact.
No, I'm not stating it as a fact. Okay. I'm stating it as a very distinct
hold on a
possibility.
sec. Let me just you were talking a lot of action on Third Phase Moon. Can you give me about 3 minutes to respond to some of the statements that you've been stating?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Steve, there's a lot of questions behind this S4 revelation that has come forward in the public as of the past, 3 days or so. And obviously with big claims comes great proof to back it up. And I agree with everybody wanting to find out exactly what's going on here. But there's a few facts that I want to point out. And one of the facts is that when Kyle from UFOProof made us aware at Third Phase of Moon that he thinks that he discovered S4 while searching Google Maps, we looked at that on our end. And we went to Google Maps on our end to go check out whether this was labeled S4 Research High Ridge Facility, what have you. And the fact is, it was there. And this label.
Oh, I'll give you that. It's labeled.
Wait,
that, sure.
Yeah. I'm not. Give me a few more minutes. When we looked at that label, that was an actual government pin. And when you look at the Capitol building in the Washington, you go to the Capitol building and it has the exact same Washington pin that was labeled by Google.
We talked about
Somebody had access to put a pin in there on Google Earth and labeled it S4 Research Facility. The fact that somebody with high access within Google Earth was able to put that pin with a government pin, not a so-called personal pin by anybody. You were insinuating just a few moments ago that it's easy to pin anything and you want, but this was a government pin. Can you tell me, Steve, does it not look suspicious that it was labeled by a government pin, and within 24 hours after we put it up on Third Phase of Moon, that government pin has been removed? Is that suspicious?
I believe that didn't Jeremy Rise tell people they should report it as not a real location? Because if they
who cares what Jeremy Rise at Alien Scientist says?
I'm sorry, but he's a very intelligent man, and let me just give you a very quick background into the water guzzlers.
The fact is,
so that we know
that was a government pin, and just because he said to go flag it, whether that's a proper thing to do or not, in my opinion, we're missing the whole big picture, Steve. It was a government label.
Because I would want that pin to stay so that we could reference it and get an answer from the government. We could
absolutely, but in my opinion, it proves a cover-up, and that's where we got to keep an eye on.
I think that's a little bit of a stretch. But let me just tell you about the water.
What do you mean? Hold on a sec. What's a little bit of a stretch? Hold on. Explain yourself. That's
a cover-up. It's a cover-up because it might have been pinned incorrectly.
Please explain. How is it?
Are you going to tell me that there's no?
I know.
They're like, hey, you need to explain yourself, all right? You're pissing me off now.
Yeah, you can't just. I'll just play it. Yeah, let it play out.
Nobody in the government that's interested in UFOs or Bob Lazar that may have done this as a goof. That's a possibility.
You're speculating. The fact
so
is,
are you.
It was there and then it's gone.
Okay, I'll give you that. But let's talk about the guzzlers for a moment, because I think that we're missing some of the context. Jeremy, I don't.
Jeremy now believes that he might have a second thought process that these are guzzlers. Most guzzlers, as we did an update on Third Phase of Moon last night, showed what a typical guzzler looks like. They're about 4. Go to my channel. And you could see what a guzzler looks like.
I've seen them, but do you know that there are
have not.
Various sizes?
They're usually 4 by 8.
And there's some that are 100 foot by 100 foot as well.
So
all within Nevada.
And when you said, what was funny is you mentioned that this location is so radioactive. Why would they have a facility there? Because you're being an exact clone of what Jeremy said. But after I talked with Jeremy, the whole fact is, why would you catch water to feed radioactive water to sheep? And
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I do know that there are water guzzlers all over that area. Did you know that?
Why would you want to have that for sheep too? If it's so radioactive, if that's a water catchment system, what kind of sick government do we have giving them radioactive water?
The context of the water guzzler, people are missing this because Jeremy's. Sometimes I think he's a little bit on the spectrum, and he doesn't articulate things well. The water guzzlers came from the fact that Jeremy and Dan Benker, the story of Charles Hall and the Nellis Air Force Base and the tall white aliens. Somebody once claimed, we found Charles Hall's tall white alien base. And that turned out to be...
We're not claiming that. You're calling
that like... No, but what I'm trying to tell you is that turned out to be water guzzlers. Somebody once claimed that they found Charles Hall's alien research facility, and it turned out to be 100% verified by the BLM to be water guzzlers. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? Because I was kind of in on that debunk too. Went to this.
It wasn't a debunk. It was a theory, but you thought it was debunked. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, you're going to tell me you don't clickbait titles? Like AI told us this about the Dark Knight satellite, but all you did was feed a script into
We're talking about Google. We're talking about what you
Come on,
label.
Blake. You've been living off of
thing
clickbait
tonight.
titles
We
for
can get into
5
all
years
kinds of fun
tonight.
stuff,
You've been
but let's
5 years. You've been
stick
living
to
off
the
of
point.
clickbait.
Oh,
Clickbait
dude, yeah,
titles.
but
You
that's
don't
the
tell
thing.
me what
He
is
puts
based on
clickbait titles
clickbait
on
titles.
his as well, because he's got pictures of women with their tits all pumped out and shit, dude, on his videos. So don't tell me you're not doing the same thing with your thumbnails.
He's just, you know, he's got his point of view. So,
I'm
you
just
know.
saying though.
Yeah,
And
no,
she's
I
really-
know.
You know.
We all, I mean, YouTube says make your titles enticing.
Yeah. And by the way, like, well, my title to my video was S4 found on Google Earth. Literally exactly what the video is about. So how that could be considered clickbait, I have no idea, because that is what the video is about. So that is why I named it that. I'm terrible coming up with names for videos. I always just say what the video is, and that's it. And I catch so much shit from Third Phase of Moon because I can't name my videos for crap, and they give me so much hell about it because I'm no good at naming videos. But then, so to say that I'm naming it as clickbait is ridiculous, dude. I literally named exactly what was in the video. That's it.
Yeah, but in this part here, Cambion's, now that he has Third Phase in his sights, he wants to try to, you know, defame them or whatever you call it. I don't even know if that's the right terminology.
Because he can't argue the fact with the S4, the government pen, me finding it using Bob Lazar's, you know, description of where it's at. He can't argue that case. So what do you want to do? Oh, let's just go and talk trash about Third Phase of Moon and make claims that are clearly not true, like that they're putting up for hundreds of hoax videos for the past 5 years, which is 100% wrong.
Yeah, we talked about that too. Yeah, that was in here. So there are some interesting things now we're going to get into about the facility, and this is where I was kind of hoping we'd get to. So let's get to the meat of this.
Abzar.
Here we go.
How are you arriving at that?
Well, we did some. If you go back to our episode that we just put up, we went onto Google Earth, showed that it was 100 feet by 100 feet for each square, whatever you call it. And then we measured the road, and at one point, this road is over 113 feet wide. It traverses for 4 miles into top secret territory.
Into the mountains, like Bob Lazar said, right?
Yep.
Why the heck would they traverse through a mountainside for 4 miles with a 100-foot wide road to build water guzzlers for sheep with radioactive water? Does this make any sense?
No, the radioactive part doesn't make any sense to me. But you're telling me that you believe a bus could get through that road to get to this location?
100%.
My God,
I
yeah.
guarantee a bus could get through it.
A couple
3
buses.
rigs. You could have 3 semi-trucks side by side get through that road.
And you're saying this
that
road is
wide.
100
I
feet
did the
in
measurements,
length.
Steve. I did the measurements.
All right. Well, can you explain to me why it's nowhere near where Bob Lazar said it was?
That's something you're going to have to ask Bob Lazar, because we're working on it. We want Bob Lazar to put X marks the spot. Here, put Google Earth in front of Bob and tell him to give us the exact X marks the spot, because he has not done that. So everything about Bob Lazar could go out the window for
Well, he has said in interviews that it was right off.
The fact is that this was labeled as a government pin tag, and then after we put it up on Third Phase of Moon, it has been removed. Those are facts, and that is the story. Everybody's blowing it about thinking about what Bob Lazar said this and that. That's ridiculous. The point is, it was a government label pin, bro.
But it's nowhere near where he said it.
That's not true at all. He never said where it was. I mean, he gave a description on where it was, but for the most part, he couldn't tell you exactly where it's at. How could he say, oh, it's left on Albuquerque on 7th Street and Freedom Ridge? Like, he can't say that's where it's at because he doesn't know. He just knows that it was about 20 minutes south of Area 51 near the Papoose Lake. That's all he knew.
Yeah, he didn't know exactly. He just, exactly.
Yeah,
What would happen? How would you feel? And I think I know the answer just because, but if the government came out and put a statement out, or maybe they relabeled it something else, like Water Guzzler, Ridge.
Yeah.
Would you think then it was a conspiracy, or how would you feel?
Yeah. No, if they come out and said it was Water Guzzler Ridge, I'd be like, okay, well, that's what it was because it said S4, so I sure as fuck thought it was S4. But I'm not going to sit there and deny shit like that. I'm so far from a conspiracy theorist. it's not even funny, you know. It's just like I can't. It really, that conspiracy crap just bugs the crap out of me. You know, UFOs are not a conspiracy. You know, they are real. You know it as well as I do. They absolutely exist 100%. It's not a conspiracy. So I cannot put what we do along with conspiracy theorists. So I'm so far away from conspiracies. It's just, if that's what they said, then I would agree with them.
And the conspiracy already started. They removed the labels or the pin.
That's really crazy that they did do that, you know. And so, you know, to see that happen is really, you know, shocks me because I'm like, you know, I don't want to see any conspiracy stuff with UFOs. It really bugs me to see any of that stuff. But something happened, and we posted that video. We all started talking about it, and next thing you know, it's gone. Like, and everybody could see it. You know, like I went, so you guys could see it. I mean, you could go there and see it was there, and then next thing you know, it's gone. Something's going on there. Now, I hate to think it's a conspiracy, but it's, you know, it's possible that, you know, there is some sort of a cover up going on, and they're trying to, you know, take back what they already, you know, put out there. You know, who knows?
You made an interesting point that it's been 30 something years since Bob Lazar made his story or had his story. And maybe these are new employees who didn't know Bob Lazar's story.
Yeah, they may have never even heard of Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
And people, you know, and then, I mean, guys, remember, to us, he's a rock star. He's huge in the UFO world. People like us, everyone knows him. You might not like him, okay? It's like, I might not like Britney Spears, but I know who she is, okay? In our world, everyone knows Bob Lazar, you know, but in the big scheme of things, he is not a popular guy. He's not even huge in all of the UFO world. There's people who are in the UFOs who don't know who Bob Lazar is. This is true. There are people in the UFO community who have never heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah.
Exactly. It blows my mind every time I talk to someone who doesn't know about Bob Lazar, who's into UFOs. It blows my mind. But there are people who just don't know who he is, you know? And so that's what you got to remember. He's not like this, you know, everyone knows him. It's just that we know who he is. So it seems like, oh, he's going to be famous. How can people not know? But it's really simple on why somebody at Google Earth may never have heard of Bob Lazar, and somebody at the DOD might not have ever heard of Bob Lazar. And just, you know, okay, well, they're like, this is the name of the base. They don't know what's going on in the base. It's a secret base, but let's name it. Well, this is the name of it. And you got to remember, before Bob Lazar came out into the public with his story, George Knapp actually called at the DOE and the Nellis Air Force Base and asked, is there a base called S4? And they told him yes. And then he put out the story. And then next thing you know, they're like, no, we don't know about any base there, you know. But he straight up says, he's like, no, before this happened, they said there was a base there called S4. So, but then they took it away, you know. And so it's like, you got to understand, like, they know that's the name of it. So they obviously, Google got a hold of it, and they're like, yeah, the DOD was like, yeah, this is the name of it. We don't have to tell them what's going on here. You know, we just, people are going to question. Obviously, Google Earth is going to question what this is, and so we'll tell them the name of the base. It's not going to prove that there's any. The people who are telling them the name probably don't have a clue what's going on in that base. They probably only know the name, and that's it. So they're just like, yeah, go ahead, tell them, put the name. That's the label. It's fine. They're not probably informed about what's going on there, you know. So to say a name of the base is probably not a huge deal.
And then the wave of all of us and Jeremy's, you know, let's flag it. I think the flagging was the thing that really got it removed.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, I think it was maybe a combination of Third Phase and because even if 100 people went there, that's a lot of people. If 100, I know thousands of people watched it. Thousands. Yeah. They went over there. I mean, yeah, it's wild. Were you saying something else? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead, buddy.
I was gonna ask you something. It'll come back to me. Let's get this going here.
Bro, he's dealing with us, and with Countdown to Disclosure, he did not make a penny.
Oh, right? Cambian went off saying that
about Greer and that other guy and
Billy Carson and stuff.
Yeah,
that they're criminals basically, you know, and that he was saying Third Phase of Moon works with criminals, and they're like, well, what does that have to do? You know, there's still is their story,
it has
and
nothing to do with it.
yeah, in a
Nothing to
way,
do with it.
but in a way, I feel the same way as Cambian does. But nobody's perfect in life, and they did their time. I'm not saying Greer did any time for making money, but you also can't fault anybody for making money. But if they're scamming people like he's saying Greer did, and that Third Phase is working with them, he has a problem with that. Just like Billy Carson has a record and he's still doing shady shit. It's a crazy world, but I don't know, man. I kept quiet because I don't know what to say on that. Like,
I think it's ridiculous that Steve's even bringing any of that stuff up. All it is a distraction from what we're talking about. You know, all he's doing is deflecting. He's not actually trying to debate them. He's trying to deflect on something else to try to make, to try to attack their character. Like that has anything to do with the S4 base existing there or not. That all that stuff with Greer is completely irrelevant, and all he's doing is deflecting. He just doesn't want to have the debate because he can't argue with them. They are correct. Google said it was there. It was a government tag. The base was there. I mean, everything about it shows that that's S4, and he can't argue it. So what can we do? Let's attack their character and make up a bunch of bullshit, and not even directly them, but people that they're just putting in their documentaries, like. Really, like, it's not like they're doing a whole documentary about that Carson guy or whatever, or it's just like he might be in it for a couple minutes, maybe. That's it. It's like, what, dude? You can't hold what that guy does in his private life against Third Phase of Moon, and really can't hold any of that against him because that has nothing to do with the topic, which is this S4 or not? And so all that other stuff is completely irrelevant and just a way for him to deflect. It's not an argument.
Very well said. Yep. Here we go.
About Greer. If you want to listen real quick.
Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go.
I'm missing the point that you need to make money selling bullshit. You need to make money selling.
I want people to hear this.
Proof that showed that Google Earth labeled
and he
that
said
S4 with
factually inaccurate statements in his video,
That's
and you ran with it. He said, "This is the S4 facility. This is it." That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
How's it bullshit?
How can that be bullshit? Prove it.
Prove it's real. You prove it's real. You're the one making the money, Blade.
We did it.
Prove that everybody around
the world. You proved that a pin was there, that a text label was there, and it disappeared.
We proved it. We proved it.
Which is more than Bob Lazar proved.
Yes,
correct. It disappeared.
You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Right?
It's a big picture here. Don't you get it?
We proved that it was there.
You didn't prove anything. You proved there was a text label for an unknown location out in the middle of the Nevada desert.
A government
that bears zero resemblance to what Bob Lazar said it was.
Who cares
that
about
was not where Bob Lazar said it was.
That. You're missing the point.
I'm missing the point that you need to make money selling bullshit. You need to make money selling bullshit, and you will do whatever mental gymnastics you have to do in order to do it.
No,
you're going to work
with
Greer. You're going to work with Greer. Why do you have to sign in?
What's that?
He's the one doing mental gymnastics, trying to avoid, talking about the actual base itself and switching to, the video they're doing with Greer and stuff. He's just flipping all around, doing anything to avoid the fact that there was a government pin that labeled this base S4. What more do you want? It's not like we could go there. None of us could go there.
Right.
So the most we could be is 99% sure, But I mean, so you can't be 100 because we can't go there. Nobody can. But based on the evidence at hand, that would suggest that, this is a good bet. If you're going to bet on it, this is where you want to put your money. That's all I'm saying. It's not that there's no way I could be 100%. But I feel very confident in saying this is S4 because of all the information added all together that we have. Makes me think that this would be a very, very reasonable bet to go ahead and take if you're going to bet on is this S4 or not.
I'm not okay. I am going to make my I'm going to say something here because I'm going to say that I don't want to ruin anybody's party, especially your discovery, but it did say S4. It was a government label, but what if they were wrong and they had to remove it because they were wrong? But that doesn't make sense. How could they make such a? Well, it is our government, but you never know. I mean,
I don't see them making a mistake like that.
It's pretty big.
I mean, like, come on, it's like. I think people are just afraid of it being right. They're afraid
Yeah,
that
maybe.
it's true. They don't want to accept that maybe this Bob is telling the truth, that that base does exist. It's there. And so if it's there, then that means what Bob said was true. He did work on crap, reverse engineering them for our government. So it's like people are afraid of that being true. And that's what, so and then I think a lot of it also has to do with, jealousy. I think when you have other physicists are really jealous of Bob being able to work on something as, awesome as that. And I think because they weren't, allowed to work on it, I think they might have been a little jealous of it, like Stanton Friedman or possibly even alien scientists, other physicists who who aren't that lucky to be doing stuff like that. I could see it really, making them feel bad and being a little bit upset about it. But, I'm sorry, obviously,
But
the base is there.
It was labeled, but this is the problem. This is the problem we have with the history books. These guys don't want to rewrite history. Even just regular history, not even about Area 51. I'm talking findings at Egypt and in India and all these pyramids and stuff. And nobody wants to rewrite history that, oh my God, Göbekli Tepe now 15,000, 20,000 years ago. Come on, man. I don't know. These scientist guys are weird.
They just don't want, that's the thing. They don't want to add the evidence, and make their theory match the evidence. They want the evidence to match their theory. And that's not the way to go about it. You have to take what evidence you have and make your theory fit to that evidence. And so when you deny stuff like Göbekli Tepe, it stops us from being able to push, human civilization back, 12,000, 15,000 years instead of just 6,000 years. Because they want to deny stuff like that and say, well, that can't be right. But it's there. The evidence is there. So you should change your theory to match the evidence, not the other way around.
Somebody just messaged me, and it's interesting. It's here. Let me see. It says that. All right, this is the video where Bob said it was rolled out onto the lake bed. So they found that video, but I'm not. I'll play it in a minute. I'll play that in a minute. We're still on this, and there's something else. A measurement that was sent to me. He described in the video S4 on the lake bed. Right on it, about 5 minutes in a little of the lake bed. Well, we'll get to that. We'll look at that interview.
S4 is only 4 miles from the lake bed, so that's about 5 minutes in.
Yeah. All right. Well, the plot even thickens today. This is crazy. Patrick Sheehan for $10 super chat. Thanks, man. Continuing supporter. S4 only means anything to UFO buffs if Lazar's story is right. Right, that's true. So Lazar is the point if the story Cambion is right. The point is Lazar, third phase is wrong. I'm a little confused.
I have no idea what that means.
Well, he's saying S4 doesn't mean anything to it only means something to you and me, UFO buffs.
Yeah, correct.
So Lazar is the point if the story of Cambion is right. The point is Lazar, third phase is wrong. I don't know what that means, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But thank you for we'll figure it out, Patrick Sheehan. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I'm seeing a lot of questions. I can't get to them all, obviously. But alien scientist is here too. Interesting.
What up, Jeremy?
What's up, man? Solar Marshall said, go on Google Earth timeline and see when this place was developed. Well, you can't see it before 2005. It was blurred out. Yeah. So that's the answer to that, right? Solar Marshall? When it was developed.
Those hangar doors, if you want to get a really good photo of it, use Zoom Earth and look at it then, and then you can really see them hangar doors, man. Just so everybody knows, Google Earth it's okay, you can kind of see it, but Zoom Earth, you really see it, man. It's cool.
I don't even.
I
don't have Zoom Earth. Yeah,
I was
guys,
just checking it out last night. It's awesome.
Let's see, alien scientist. Welcome here, alien scientist. Good to see you, Jeremy. If you're stupid enough to believe Lazar after all the lies we've caught him in, that's your own fault. Yeah. Yeah, I've always been, I don't know about Lazar, and I think, yeah,
Jeremy knows
I
how
don't
I
know,
feel
man.
about him. He knows I believe him.
I know. A lot of people do, and it's right down the middle. I mean, some days I don't believe him, and some days I do.
Yeah.
It depends. I don't know. I
don't know,
just
but I think
don't know.
this evidence, I think, helps validate his story by having that place there with the government pin there saying that it's S4. I think helps even further validate his story because there is a base called S4 there. I mean, we know that now. Even if the pin got taken away, it was there. It was a government pin. I mean, and it's from it's on a road from Area 51 to the base, hidden up in the mountains. Built into the side of a mountain is a base. And even in that drawing that Steve had on earlier, where you could see the grid pattern on the floor in front of the hangars, and you can see that same grid pattern in front of the hangar doors in the video I posted. So it's like even that picture helps validate it because he must have told them that there's a big concrete pad outside with grid patterns on it to describe that drawing. And that's how that got there. Because I mean, like, look at that. You have to admit that those grid lines are in that drawing and they're on those pads.
That is interesting.
But they are there, though, right?
Yeah, I see them. I don't know if that's...
And the grid lines are there in the drawing, which was done years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we saw that earlier. Yeah, that's right. They are.
So
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
That drawing was done years and years ago before anyone ever found anything there. And then all of a sudden we find it and there's those pads with the grid lines on it, just like the drawing that he described to him. Come on, there's enough evidence to say this is a good bet.
But in the drawing, it's showing them on the ground, but we don't know what those white squares are. Really, we don't know if these are...
for precision landing.
What's that?
I think they're for precision landing, for vertical takeoff and lift vehicles. Like when they're testing out like other aircraft that do VTL, that do vertical takeoff and lift, they ask them, like the squares would be numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever. Oh. And you would say land in B2, and they would land right in that square. That's how you do precision landing. That's how they do it with other stuff. So it makes sense they would do it with these craft because these craft are obviously vertical takeoff.
Aaron Morrison, thanks for the $5 super sticker. Mucho gusto, generoso, and a continuing supporter. Now, I know Solar Marshall is here too, and people want me to have him on. I guess we could, but I'm with Kyle right now, and I planned on just Kyle for now, but maybe in a little bit. Let's just listen to this. We'll get through this and then see where we end up. Lord Ludicrous Plaid, another $2 super chat. Is Kyle friends with Corbell and Knapp? No.
No.
That's that's actually funny. That's funny. Thanks for the $2 though. Again.
Right?
Yeah. Very funny. All right, here
we
go.
They don't know how funny. They don't know how funny that is. Am I friends with them? No.
Oh no, they know. They know. Yeah.
They fucking hate me, dude.
Oh, they hate you?
Yeah, dude.
Man, that's interesting.
I put out a video fucking making fun of, because George Knapp narked out Bob Lazar to the police about him being a pimp or whatever. He narked him out. And so when he admitted that in Jeremy's video, I was like, oh my God, he narked Bob out and had him arrested. So I put out a video like making fun of that. Apparently they didn't like that so much,
That's great. Yeah, Jeremy doesn't like me. I called him. I don't know if you know that. I called him on my show live one night. And he picked up. Well, he got angry, and he said, "You don't call somebody. I'm about to eat dinner. You email me. You don't call somebody." I'm like, I didn't know. I thought somebody was joking around. They said this is Corbell's number, and I'm like, no, it's not. And I called you. It's just a plain accident. And he goes, you removed this thing. Da, 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 da. And I said, yeah, if you come on the show, I'll remove it. And we made a deal, but he never answered my email. Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, it was fun. And he said, I'm not going to sit on it. And he stayed on for like 6 minutes talking. I can't. And it was just, I lost the audio, by the way, because StreamYard doesn't let you keep it more than 15 days. And I didn't know. And I re-edited the show and put it up without the call, not knowing I was going to lose that audio clip forever.
Oh man.
I still think it's on my computer. I just don't know. I'll have to go through everything. All right. What's this here? Alien scientist Jeremy says, Lazar's testimony places S4 firmly on the Papoose Lake bed, not miles way up in the mountains.
That's not true. He says it's off of the Papoose Lake bed, or he's also said it's near the Papoose Lake bed, but not that it's on the Papoose Lake bed. You know, but just that it's near the Papoose Lake bed. That the base is near, that you have to go towards the Papoose Lake. It's in that area, the Papoose Lake. Not that it's directly on Papoose Lake bed. It's just near it.
But but the drawings show that it's on the lake bed though, right?
No, just the drawing doesn't show that. In fact, the drawing just shows it up in the mountains. The drawing that he had commissioned where he talked to the girl and described it, and she drew it out where you see the mountains in the background with the bases with the grid pattern in front.
Yeah. Earlier we looked at that though, right?
That other drawing has nothing to do with Bob Lazar.
Yeah, not that one. The one you told me to look at, that was the right one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that one does not show the lake bed.
Hold on.
It shows the grid pattern. And you should show this to Jeremy so he can see.
I am right now, yeah. Again, reading my mind. Here we go. This here.
Look at that.
That's on the lake bed, though.
That's not the lake bed. That is the grid pattern. See the grid pattern?
Yeah,
that is
right here.
Pad that's in front of the bases that I found. That's the same grid pattern. Alien scientist Jeremy, I hope you can see this. And by the way, everyone, so you guys know, Jeremy and I are friends. We don't have any kind of beef with each other. We both debate Bob Lazar all the time. He's on one side, I'm the other, so it's not a big deal. You know, we are still friends with each other. But just so you see that grid pattern is there in that drawing that was done years ago. That grid pattern is there. And in the Google Earth, you know, you can see, if you zoom up, you can see the grid pattern in that drawing.
I have to pull up your video again and do it. We already did that, but they can look. Here it is.
There. Yeah, it's definitely there. And I'm sure Jeremy already knows this, you know, because why else would he say it was a water guzzler without those grid lines in it? But you can see the grid lines.
You can see them right here.
Yeah, right there. Exactly. Right, exactly.
It's very faint, B. Baker, but they are there. I can see one right here.
Yep,
I can see one right here. They look like they're probably 10 by 10s or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 by 20 then. Mm-hmm. So they're 20 by 20 squares, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Yep. 20, 40, 60, 80.
100. Yep.
20, 40, 60,
20 squares,
80,
20 foot squares. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I like that.
And you can see that in that drawing. That was done years ago.
This drawing here, just to reiterate again. Oh, come on, Rich. It's such a short point. I can't be off, but...
Right before that one.
Yeah, I'm getting there again. Come on. It's stupid. Well, anyway, we already showed it. I can't. I'm getting impatient with that.
Those grid lines are there in the drawing and on those pads.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
not there. Here.
Right there. There are
here.
Lines right there.
That's funny. That's interesting. All right, let's get back to the heated discussion here and.
Everybody around
you proved that a pin was there, that a text label was there, and it disappeared.
We proved it, Steven. We proved it.
That it was there and it disappeared, Steve. What's the big picture here? Don't you get it?
We proved that it was there.
You didn't prove anything. You proved there was a text label for an unknown location out in the middle of the Nevada desert.
A government
that bears zero resemblance to what Bob Lazar said it was.
Who cares
that
about
was not where Bob Lazar said it was.
You're missing the point.
I'm missing the point that you need to make money selling bullshit. You need to make money selling bullshit, and you will do whatever mental gymnastics you have to do in order to do it.
Oh, yeah, we just heard that.
You're going to work with Greer? You're going to work with Greer? Why do you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement to attend one of his disclosure events? Do you know you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement?
Greer, when we did Countdown to Disclosure.
What about CE5? Did you have to cut all the CE5 shit out of your documentary? Do you believe that's
Steve, I'll give you a little bit of background about Greer, if you want to listen real quick. When we did Countdown to Disclosure, that was the biggest documentary of 2021. because people were interested in the subject matter, and thank goodness that we put that out, because everybody would have believed Lou Elizondo and everybody else. I'm glad we
well, finally we get some common ground, because I don't believe that clown
Bob,
either. So
Greer
good,
did not
common ground.
Greer didn't make a penny off that documentary. Okay, he didn't ask
Well, he
for
made
anything.
millions off his other documentaries, including
Who
using
cares?
a fake
That's
dead
he's
baby
dealing with the
alien.
Cousins brothers, bro. He's dealing with us, and with us, with Countdown to Disclosure, he did not make a penny. All right, that's with the brothers, not with anybody else. I don't care about anybody else. I'm talking about who we in our realm.
Okay, so again, back to this point of taking the good and the bad. If you're going to put him in a documentary, shouldn't you tell people that he ran a documentary where he claimed the dead baby was an alien, and he could have just waited a few weeks to get those results before putting that documentary out, but he rushed it to get it out before the truth came out? Because that's
still
what
anomalies
UFO
around
hoaxes
this
do.
thing. The thing was a 7-inch figure. The bone structure on
we're
it
gonna get
seemed
into this
more
stuff.
dense than what you're talking about. It. I'm not protecting it. There's still, I don't even know. All
The
I
man
know.
used a dead baby to make money off of an alien story. A dead baby.
Say.
And you guys are giving him more work. Like, yeah, he's a hero. He used a dead baby to scam people for UFO dollars, made over $1 million. Then, a month after the documentary is released and he made $1 million, the proof that it's just a human deformed fetus comes out. And then
That's
he
not our
claims the CIA
documentary,
covered it
Steven.
up.
Yeah,
But you're
That's not our
taking the good with
talking
him.
about other
Are you telling
documentaries.
people
That's
his
not our
history?
documentary.
You're putting him in a documentary like he's some kind of hero to disclosure, but you leave out all the bad. The
So
guy
you don't
ran a
think-
free
so
energy
when he
scam
did-
to the tune of $500,000. Where's that money?
I don't ask.
The guy
him,
collected
bro.
millions
Ask him.
of
Don't
dollars
ask
to
me
make
about his
documentaries that
banking
cost
account,
10
all right?
grand.
Don't ask
You know
me
what a
about his
documentary
banking
costs.
account.
What does a
Why would you
documentary
ask me
cost to
about
make?
his
Blake?
finances? All I know, he created the Disclosure Project back in the early
25
2000s.
years ago.
So that was worthless to you? He didn't do anything?
Well, actually, if you go through and pick through a lot of that information he presented, it's by less than credible people. Clifford Stone and others.
No, that's true.
Proven
And I can't
bullshit
stand
artists.
Clifford
What about
Stone.
all,
I hate
That's
all of
really
them?
good.
I'm not
think
saying
he
all
should
of
have
them, but a
never
great
done
deal
that?
of them. He went
Him
fast
and his
loose with
bottom
a lot
lip,
of facts.
his lip
He
is
should
always
have
Put
done
wet.
that thing
though.
together. I'm not
And
saying
you
he
want to
should
know
have done it, but
something?
maybe.
Is that Steve here is also a huge fan of Mark McKinlish, who was part of that National Press Club Disclosure Project with Stephen Greer. So I find it ironic that he's talking shit about Third Phase of Moon supporting them when he supports a guy who was on stage with Greer holding up a alien reproduction vehicle with nothing more than a story to support him, and some drawings that he made that was third-hand accounts and fourth-hand accounts. So I find it, ridiculous that he's going to come after Third Phase of Moon for something like that when he supports Mark McKinlish, who was part of the Disclosure Project as well.
The thing about this field, you got people like Greer, Dolan. He's also what?
I can't stand Greer.
He's that CE5 stuff. I don't buy into it too much, but
I believe it.
I don't know.
I think people can actually do it without realizing that they're even doing it. People who actually have more than normal UFO sightings, you might even do it without realizing it, and you're a person who has more than normal UFO sightings than just the average person who might go their whole life and maybe see one,
or never. Yeah, you're right. I guess. I said that a long time ago in 2004 when I captured a fleet of UFOs, because the night before I was talking about stuff and I was quitting, and I said, why don't they show me constellations? Why don't I get fleet videos from like Mexico does? And the next day, sure enough, the Orion's Belt, the Big Dipper, and then there was a thing that looked like a question mark at the end, and it was, and that's because I was questioning them. It was very interesting. It was an epiphany at that time.
It was really cool. I saw that video too, man.
And that's only the short version. I'm getting the long version up within weeks, so everybody will see that. All right. So they go back and forth here. We can. I don't know. I mean, do you have time to hang out still?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, this is interesting. I mean, we already talked about the different colored pins and, the government pin. They get into that for a minute. So I'm just going to jump ahead. And Solar Marshall, I think you should come on another night too, because I wanted to showcase, this video with Kyle tonight. And I didn't want to get too crazy in here, but I don't know. Should we bring him on? What do you think?
It's your show, man.
I know what he's going to say. It's everything that Steven's saying. So, but Solar Marshall and I will do something later. Let's just finish here.
Okay.
We're probably going to go a little longer tonight, folks. So, get yourself comfortable. A little bit, not much longer than normal, but
at all. So maybe Billy liked our questions.
Billy
I don't
Carson.
know. He gave us access. We asked some questions. We didn't have to pay him a penny. All right.
Oh, we're just asking questions that we wanted to know for our documentary. We weren't trying to employ him or hire him. He gave us access, and it lasted for about 2 hours. We're in and out, and that was it.
Yeah, he's got about a 15-minute cut in a 2-hour documentary. What's the big deal there?
We have a question from the live chat because somebody is asserting that anyone could have tagged that tag yellow. Do you have
tell that person
background of that?
to tell that person to tag it Third Phase of Moon base.
Yeah.
And I'll give them $1,000 so the world could see it. If somebody could put a tag in there so I could see it and call it the Third Phase of Moon with the government seal on it, I'll pay them $1,000 right now.
Well, that's pretty good. Are you gonna?
You can't do it.
If it turns out to be water guzzlers, you're
wait, what did he say?
1,000? Give them $1,000.
I thought it was. It is 10. It was 10 later on.
Somebody could put a tag in there so I could see it and call it the Third Phase of Moon with the government seal on it. I'll pay them $1,000 right now.
Then he changed it to 10.
Are you gonna?
You can't do it.
If it turns out to be water guzzlers, you're gonna give Jeremy $500.
The government label, Steve, and the fact that everybody thinks that it is simply able to be labeled by the public is being misconstrued by people like you and alien scientists who put out like anybody could tag things. This is a falsity on a high level where you're spreading disinformation by letting people know and think that anybody could tag it for the world to see. It's a falsity.
Well, we're going to dig deeper into it then, and we'll get more answers for you.
Well, it's a falsity, bro. We're telling you. It's false. We did our research already, and you can't do it. And I'll pay you $1,000 if you could give me a government official tag that I could see over S4 calling it the Third Phase of Moon base. Please, people, I'll pay you $1,000. I'll pay you $10,000 if you could give me a government label on there because it's not that easy. Stop it, Steve.
Well, I'm just telling you what people are saying. I don't know.
I'm just saying you were saying that. You were saying that.
I know for a fact. I know for a fact that you can label a location. I don't know for a fact
when they don't
that you
know
can
the facts, bro. The bunkers suck when they don't know the facts.
I said you can add a location. I did not say you could add a government tag to it. I'm going to look more deeply into that.
Because we brought it up because you didn't know the facts.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'm human too, but I know for a fact that you can tag a location.
We're all human.
A missing
Everybody
location,
makes
and
mistakes,
it will add a text. It will add a text.
Let me tell you, Stephen Cambion's a heck of a nice guy. He's taken this really well, and we're all human. He said it, and nobody's perfect in this field. Nobody's an expert in this field. You're an expert at maybe what you're doing, but we can't. If we can't touch it and be there, then how do we analyze it? How can we be experts?
Of course you can't. It's like you can never say 100% because of what we're discussing. That is in a restricted area that civilians cannot go, so it's impossible for us to say anything about it. We can only be 99%. We're like pi. Okay, we're like the number pi. We can never actually reach the full circle. We just keep spiraling right next to it and next to it. We can never actually reach it. That's our problem because of where it is. So we are pi is what we are.
So frustrating.
It is.
It's so frustrating when we have to wait till we die to find out. And I don't appreciate that. I hope we find out. All right. It's interesting here what is going on, so we'll continue it.
Description of the location that you put in. So what we're down to then is the government pin. right?
The
All right,
government
we know
pinned it,
about
and
this,
now
so
it's
let's go past it.
prove one way or the other, but we can prove that again. I'll pay anybody $10,000
There it
if
is.
they could put Third Phase of Moon base on that S4 research facility with the government tag, because
Well,
it's
I could
impossible.
use $1,000.
The fact is,
so
it's not there
I'll
anymore.
Look into it.
So alien scientist Jeremy just said, I'm going to show you I can add a government pin in his own state.
No, add it to the S4 building and name it Third Phase of Moon with the government pin. That's what they said. That's the bet.
No, but that's part of the bet. The rest of it is we need to see it here on our Google Earth.
Yeah, and
Right.
we have to be able to see it. Not just you, Jeremy,
Right.
but everybody in the world. You know, somebody in Zimbabwe should be able to go on Google Earth and look it up and see that it says Third Phase of Moon at the S4 site, or the site that I claim is S4 and you claim is not. You know, name it Third Phase of Moon with a government pin, and then collect the $10,000.
That's it. Yep, it's that easy.
Yeah. You know, part of me thinks that there might be somebody somewhere that is a member of the government who is having a nice laugh over this right now.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a possibility.
Probably, but why would they take it down if they're laughing? But maybe, who
Well,
knows? I think,
according to my friend who works at Google, if people
I'll
report it as an inaccurate, that it's not a real location, I don't know if they investigate it before they take it, an inaccurate location down,
a government
or if they
tag,
just take
don't
it down.
forget.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to try to drill down with him, but the problem is that my friend works for Google as a software engineer, but not for Google.
Thanks, AL Warrior.
And you know how huge that company is. So in order for him to get any information, it might take a long time, or he may never be able
Absolutely.
to give
We can't
accurate
prove
answer.
one way or the other at this point, except the fact is what we reported as factual on Third Phase of Moon. And we got to watch the language here, because when you're talking, I don't want to go around in circles here. I think we've covered the basis on
No, yeah, we have, and we understand each other's points better. And I think we're going to do. I'm sure you're going to look more into the story, and I'll look more into the story, and then we'll both benefit. And maybe we can come to some kind of agreement at the end of it. The problem is, it's going to be very hard to. This is one of those things like chasing your tail. Welcome to ufology.
We just said
because
that.
I may be unable to disprove that that's anything like people claim it is, that it's not even buildings. I might not even be able to prove that it's not even buildings.
All right. So that is that. And now I want to get to your pictures that we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We can do that?
Yep.
All right. I got it. Let me pull it up and get it on over. I haven't seen this video. I'm surprised I didn't know it was up. I didn't get any notifications, but
I posted it at like 2:00 in the morning, dude. Like,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised.
I gotcha. All right, so let's
And
do this.
at the very end, it shows all the other. It just shows the fake S4 pictures. Like where they all said the fake bases were.
Where should I go?
The very end of the video. It'll show all the fake base, like the fake pictures where people are like,
"Oh, I see what you're saying."
Yeah.
Like at the very, very end.
Yeah, very, very end. Like even
here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
You got to share these.
It'll
videos.
roll into
you
it.
have to share it with everybody you can. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Instagram. Share it on TikTok. Everywhere you can. Share this video. Let the world know.
I showed this on my thing. Yeah.
S4.
I made a
See
video
you guys
too.
next time. UFOProof out.
That's the fake one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is this song copyrighted?
No, this is you're good to go with this one.
All right. Not that it matters. I'm not monetizing this video anyway.
What? You should. See, everyone put the S4 at the same place, and it's simply not there. There's the one with the lines.
Oh, wait. Let me go back. Yeah, because this is the one I hate. Hate this one. That's not even active. How could that... That's worse than what you found.
That's just a tack. That's just someone making a pin and labeling it.
Oh, and then they just screenshot it.
Yeah.
Got it. So that's from somebody's, like if I did it at my house, I could see it there every time I go there. Got it.
Yeah.
What's this?
That's the same hill where that tack was, except somebody drew these little lines on there trying to say these are the base doors.
Oh, because of these lines that are like, I don't know what they are.
The guy just made those with with the Google Earth with that app on your computer. You can just make those little lines on there.
Well, I saw this line right here. There's something here, and then there's another line there and another line there. So I see where he's putting pins. There's these little cutouts that are really small. It probably doesn't mean anything. I'm probably pareidolia. All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Those are like everyone that I could see. I think there was like 5 or 6 pictures online that I could find where people were saying, "Oh, S4 base is always in the same area," and it's not. It's not that side of the mountain. It's on the opposite side of S4, and it's off of Pat Poop's lake bed. It's not right on the lake bed. It's in the mountains. In fact, Bob Lazar clearly says it's built into the side of the mountains. So you can see the mountains in the background right where the base is. I mean, like not just a hill, but mountains, and you can clearly see those mountains in the drawing and in that video.
So Tim Frick says something that's been echoed several times. Bottom line is someone put the government pin there, said it was S4, now it's gone. Sure, it's interesting, but this can't be what Lazar was talking about. Why not?
How come?
Well, I don't think he was here for that part of it, but if Tim, you need to go and listen to the first, 45 minutes or first hour, because Kyle made some really good points about why it probably is S4, and you'll see in the pictures, the lines, and we could jump back and forth on what the drawings had and depicted that there were lines on the ground, a grid, which what you said is probably a landing guide or grid?
Yeah, precision landing pad.
Precision landing pad, thank you. So this, I don't know what to think now from here on out. We've talked about this as much as we can. So all we can do is wait for somebody to figure out a way to put a pin from the government there, call it Third Phase of Moon Base or whatever. Or what I think is going to happen, that area is going to get blurred out, possibly, but what do you think?
One more thing validating.
I know.
That point. If they blur that fucking place out, dude, I swear to God, man, that'll just be the nail in the coffin to prove that that's it. Because why would be the point of blurring it out? Really, what's the point of removing the name from it?
B. Baker's still missing. You're missing it. You have to have government access to put a government pin at a government location, whether it be the Pentagon, right? What were you going to say?
And that's the thing. Like I've seen here, Kyle lived in Nevada. He is a guide on Google Earth. There, did he do the pins? No. Okay. I can't. Listen, I'm telling you guys. Right now, I am in the state of Washington. This video I posted a couple days ago. It's not like I was in Nevada a couple days ago. I'm here.
No. What he's saying is, did you live in Nevada long enough to have access to put pins there?
No, in fact, when I lived in Nevada, Google Earth did not exist.
Oh, wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, correct.
Because I know you lived in Arizona and then you moved. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't in Nevada. I was in Arizona. And, and Google Earth didn't exist when I lived in Nevada. So, but even if it did, let me tell you guys something. I could not make a government pin that everybody could see. If I could, I'd go collect that 10,000 from Third Phase of Moon right now. All right, it can't be done. It doesn't matter if you're I don't know why you're saying I'm a guide on Google Earth. I most certainly am not. But I maybe on Google Maps, or like saying where something is. I know I have stuff on there, but that has nothing to do. Like this is a Google Earth, and I'm telling you, I could not put a pin on there that's a government pin from anywhere saying this is S4 or anything like that. You simply don't have the ability to do it. Nobody can do it.
Why would alien scientists say there's no such thing as a government pin when that's what we've been talking about?
I don't know. If you go to Washington, D.C., Jeremy, go to Washington, D.C. on Google Earth and look up the Supreme Court and tell me it's not the same pin.
Oh, right. It is.
I know this because I did it live with Third Phase of Moon on the phone when we were talking.
I'm pulling it up.
It's a government pin. It's the same pin that you see at the S4 base is on the Supreme Court.
Here it is. Here's what we're talking about. This pin here.
Yeah.
That's only a government person with access to Google Maps can do this. Am I right?
Yeah, that's how you recognize a government building as opposed to a civilian building.
But then Jeremy's saying because Google Guides put it there.
What do you mean Google Guides put it there? What are you talking about?
He's saying people, like you were just asked, did you have access? Because you spend a lot of time on Google Maps, they give you certain access to put these pins down in your local area.
Oh, I don't even have that kind of access to do something like that, dude. To name something like, I wouldn't even have that much access to it, dude. I mean, I certainly go on Google Earth all the time and look up stuff, but Google Maps, no, I might be like a second rate, like, just because I use Google Maps when I drive, in my car.
Yeah, and me too.
If I see a police car over like speed trapping, I notify people, shit like that.
Oh yeah, I do that. I've done that. Yeah.
You're probably the same level on Google Maps as I am. Nothing new. I just use it for navigation and shit like that. Not that I can go and put a pin anywhere and say this is S4. And I most certainly, Jeremy, did not go and name that S4 where everyone in the world could see. I do not have that ability. Plus, it's also on Google Earth. I don't know about Google Maps. It might be, but Google Maps takes too long to load up as opposed to Google Earth. So I wouldn't even bother looking it up through Google Maps.
So the thing is about Google Guides and the government is that even a Google Guide person who isn't working at the government can't do that. I'm not sure if a Google Guide can make changes to a government site. Maybe they can.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I don't know. That's interesting.
I don't know either. I'm literally, if you say I'm a Google Guide, I don't see how, other than, from using Google Maps and navigation. Other than that, I'm not a guide for anything on Google Earth. I couldn't go and put a pin anywhere and say it's, hey, this is S4 or whatever. I simply don't have that ability to do it. Nobody does.
Unless I was wrong, and Google Guides are the people that actually work there. But that's not what I think he means. But even if they were just part of Google Earth, I don't know if they do have access to do that. I would think that an employee that has access to everything to Google Maps can go to a research facility on Area 51 and make changes. I think that might be a possibility. I don't know. But so far, the challenge is, if anybody can put Third Phase of Moon base over there, right there, or anywhere on Area 51, $10,000 is yours.
Yeah, where we can see it. Believe me, if I could do it, I'd go collect the $10,000, okay? Believe me, if I had that ability to do it, I would go and do it, okay? I simply can't. So I'm
with this pin. Yep. And with this pin you see here, if you can post it anywhere in Area 51 or a government place, 10,000 could be yours. Should be yours.
I doubt that they'd even give a normal person the ability to have a pin like that to put in there. You would have to be a government agency in order to do that.
Oh, let me show you guys something. Somebody sent this to me on about putting up these pins. Let me see something real quick. Add a missing place to Google Maps. Let me pull this up. Shoot. All right, I'm going to show this, Kyle. It's going to echo, so...
I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
I'll mute my mic.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to speak, but, I mean, just for a second. So here it is. I'm going to black us out to open this wide. Adding... let me get rid of this. You need a Nevada IP address. That is the only prerequisite for Google. Well, somebody in Nevada, if you live there, go ahead and put the pin up. But here it is, add a missing place. You can add missing places to the map. Now, I don't see it talking about government shit. See, that's the whole thing. I don't see it anywhere here. But anyway, the place shows publicly once it's added. Places you can add include landmarks, coffee shops, or other local businesses. Learn how to fix a missing address or pin location. On your computer, open Google Maps, search for an address, then click Suggest and Edit. Wrong pin location or address. Enter the address information, which you wouldn't have for Area 51, unless you have their P.O. box or something, maybe, I don't know. Add a new address. On your computer, click the menu. At the bottom, click Edit Map. Wrong pin location address. Move and center the map on the address you want. Enter the address. You have to enter the address. Add a private label. You can add a private label to places on your map. When you fix an address, your update is publicly available. But only you can see your private labels. All right, so labeled places show up on your map in search suggestions and in the Your Places screen. So that is just for you. Let me see here. Markup, reopen. I don't see anything here that says government add to Google Maps and earn badges. That's what that is. All right, I'm getting rid of this so you can speak. Anything you want to add?
No, other than, like I said, I don't live in Nevada. So I don't have a Nevada IP address. I couldn't do it if I wanted to. This video I posted a couple days ago. I'm here in the state of Washington. I am not in Nevada. So,
I don't think anybody's saying you did it. They're just wondering.
What it sounds like to me.
Maybe I could see that.
I don't think the average person can go and add a government pin to a building and a site like that and be able to do it. I just don't see it happening. If you could, go claim your $10,000. I want to see it. Let it be known. Go name it S4 so I can go look it up on Google Earth and go to it. Let's see them do that. If that's all it takes, Jeremy, I'm sure you have a subscriber, at least one subscriber out of your 100,000 that lives in Nevada. Ask him to go and do it.
Yeah.
And claim the $10,000. Let's see him do it. That's how you do it. Don't just say it,
I don't know what this is from Into Thin Air. I'll get back to that last one. On the rise, I zoomed in on the White House. Same pin, like we just saw. But if you have a FE, Google People, you can... Is that supposed to be IP? I don't know what that FE is. But if you have something, Google People, you can add it. Correct? Let's see. Yeah, I got into that.
I don't think it's something that everybody can see.
Let's see. Okay, Dark Sky Files says he can VPN into Nevada and he'll try it now.
There you go.
Here's the deal, guys. It's been 2 days since Third Phase of Moon offered this, and nobody's come up with it. Nobody has changed anything on the government Area 51 place location, whatever I'm trying to say. Yes, 10 grand. Doesn't say you can pin a government site. No, it doesn't say that. That's what I was looking. Here's FAP again. This is all shit coming through our computer screens. You don't think it can be altered by some Black Ops government hacker? Yeah, sure. Probably, sure. Right? Don't you think?
A government hacker, sure. Of some Black Ops government hacker, I'm sure they could. Are you one?
Yeah.
If you are, then you can get $10,000.
That $10,000 isn't a joke. That's real. If anybody can
That's real money. Go get it.
Well, let's see now. On Into Thin Air says, he's talking on the rise. My bad. Not government person, but multiple guides all agreeing. I see what they're talking about. So what if they all got together, talked about it, changed it? Let's see this. Dorothy says, you're either gullible or just naive if you don't think the government obscures things that are in national security's interests. Exactly.
Well, they don't obscure Area 51.
No, but maybe they did this. I don't know. Well, I think we're taking her comment out of context, or I am. I'm just trying to figure out what people are talking about. Let's see. Anyone can get a Nevada IP address with the VPN. That's what Dark Sky Files is trying to do. Here we go. I was wondering about pinning government sites. Great New Year's. Thank you. That's Shelley. Thank you, Shelley. On the rise, 2 guides from the state. So you have to have 2 guides? I don't know what they're talking about. Let's see. Jeremy's asking to contact him if you live in Nevada. He will walk you through the entire process. That's interesting.
There you go.
Split that 5,000. There he goes.
Yeah, right.
Split the 10, I mean. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh, you can't change the S4 place since it has been taken down? Well, add something anywhere.
Add Third Phase of Moon at the S4 site. Why can't you do that? If you're able to go and add a pin anywhere, then you should be able to add the pin right back and make it say Third Phase of Moon instead of S4.
Or go to Papoose Lake and make it Third Phase of Moon Lake.
Yeah.
Whatever. Just
No,
do it there.
It's got to be the government pin.
It's got to be the government pin. Yeah, thank you.
Right?
Oh, this is interesting. Pragmagic says, why were there 2 pins with tiny title differences? Because they are user generated. He's saying
I don't think so. They're government generated. It's the government putting them up there, you know?
That's what we found out. That's why nobody's claiming the 10 grand.
Yeah, it's the government putting them up there, not just, you know, normal civilians. You know?
Let's see.
But I did wonder.
Go ahead.
You were saying there's government who labels things. You're saying there's government who labels things, prove it. Well, I mean, that's the government pin. It's Google saying that it's from the government. That's why they have that pin.
Third Phase just told me that about the 10,000, it has to be at the S4 site.
Yeah, that's the point, dude. It can't just be some random spot. It's got to be, go name the S4 site. Go name it Third Phase of Moon.
That's right. I forgot. Thank you guys for correcting me on that. Yeah, it's got to be at that site. And yes, if something's removed, why wouldn't you be able to put something there? That doesn't make sense. You should be able to
put it right back, you know? Unless the government took it down and it's like, fuck you, we're not putting this back up, so fuck off. Oh, sorry.
No, you can say that every now and then.
But they could be, that's what could happen. I mean, obviously the government took it down. Oh, that's what I believe anyway, because I don't think just anybody could take it down.
He says, Jeremy says, I'm going to prove it right now. It can take up to 2 weeks for Google to update. Well, it only took them 24 hours to remove it. So because he's doing it.
Okay.
May the government, if they are doing it.
So in 2 weeks, when the S4 site says Third Phase of Moon, go and collect your money. We'll see.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. And then
he says maybe 3-4 days. All right. Well, whenever. Even if it's a month later. I don't know how long the bet's going to be out there, but
let's see. 3 to 4 days. 3 to 4 days, we'll do another video, and Jeremy can come on and show us how everyone in the world can go on there and see that the S4 base is now named Third Phase of Moon base. Can't wait to see it. Good luck.
Exactly, man. I mean, this is unbelievable what's happening. The Dark Sky Files, I know he's got some skills, and I know Jeremy has skills, of course. I can't wait to see if you guys can do it. I hope you can't, though. You know, I hope you can't.
I want to see it, dude. I want to see it done. I want to see it because I would love to go to the base and see it named Third Phase of Moon base. I think that would be so fucking funny, dude.
Right. The White House.
Third Phase of Moon. Yeah, there you go. Pin the White House, Third Phase of the Moon. Let's see you do that.
All right, I'm getting messages again. You guys are amazing. Okay, why is that coming here? Oh, okay, that's fine. They meant to put a comment in the chat and they sent it to me by accident. Yes, you need another local guide to approve it before it will appear. So get a bunch of us in Nevada to approve the pin. Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so everybody's thinking about it.
But now, Jeremy, answer this, okay? Did you really tell people to go out and to flag that pin, to have it taken down? Why would you do something like that? It was what I would like to know. Why would you do that? Why not say, oh, you know, look, it's there. Why tell people to go and take it down? Is it just because it goes against what your belief is that Bob Lazar is full of shit? But there's evidence suggesting that it's not, and you ask people to take it down. Why not leave it up so everyone could see it and we could investigate it and find out what the deal is instead of asking people to flag it and take it down? Doesn't make sense.
No.
You know, that's what I'd like to know.
Well, I think we've done as much as we can here tonight, Kyle.
Yeah,
I don't know what else. I don't know what else we could say or do, but let's keep in touch and see where we go with this, man.
And GUFON, I want to say something. Thank you for having me on. And I'm glad that you came on my show. There's one thing I want to say though, okay?
Sure.
Next time you come on my show, if you're going to do a bit, you got to commit to it. That you sounded like Bob Lazar, and that shit would have been fucking hilarious. And if you I can't believe you didn't go all the way with it. You just gave up. You could have done it. It would have been funny as hell. I think you need to come on and do it. Because that would have been great, dude.
I've done it here, and let me tell you, I've been having issues with my voice, and I couldn't get to that pitch, and I knew it as soon as I started to do it.
You got to come back on my show, okay?
I will.
All right.
This way I could be Bob Lazar.
Yes, dude. Yes,
these are the this is
with him.
It's fucking S4, everybody. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Right.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for having me on.
And we can find you on YouTube under UFOProof, all one word?
That's right, one word, UFOProof.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate this. What an incredible new year you started for all of us. Thank you.
I know, right? Thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you on my show soon, all right?
Yep, I'm there whenever you want. Let me know.
All right, thanks, buddy. Thank
all
you,
right,
guys.
take care. Good night.
Yep, UFOProof out. All right, later, you guys.
Later. That was awesome. And thank you, everybody, for chiming in. I understand that Steven is doing a show, so we're going to head out of here and go check out what's going on over there. But thank you very much. We said it all. And tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do it again. I'm really happy with the way things went tonight. And we still don't know. It's all speculation, but it is what it is right now. $10,000 on the line. If you could put a government pin at the S4 location, prove it to Third Phase of Moon, and the money's yours. So thank you, moderators, super chatters. Thank you for supporting the show throughout tonight. I appreciate that. And it helps, keep us going 6 nights a week. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Thank you, newcomers and veterans, for hanging out. Give the show a few days, man. You might like it. If you do, don't forget to subscribe to it, share it, hit the bell. Make sure you hit it twice so you get all notifications, and make sure your phone can get YouTube notifications. I'm Rich Giordano. And what is GUFON, by the way? Truthology for ufology. That's right. Yep, that's what it is. See you later.
There's a good thing. It's rotating.
What was in the skies of and why did it downwards treasured sites in Christianity?